This is 3F Dairy, located in Gallatin County, just west of Bozeman and the Gallatin River. In about 2015, 2016, water quality really came to the forefront in the Gallatin Valley. With a local working group, the Gallatin Conservation District, and a variety of other partners, we went through every watershed in Gallatin County, and we identified the top resource concerns in each watershed. Urban sprawl, by far, was the #1 resource concern in Gallatin County, and the pressure that sprawl is putting on conventional agriculture.
A few years ago, the Gallatin Watershed Group wrote a restoration plan, so that opened up some funds to be spent out this way. We've been working with our partners on doing projects that address water quality issues, and we've been working with farmers for the last, I want to say 4 to 5 years on that.
Through the Montana Focused Conservation approach, the local field office was able to develop a targeted implementation plan to specifically address water quality by addressing the confined animal feeding operations in the Gallatin Valley. That could be ones as large as the 3F Dairy, or as small as a 1 or 2 horse operation that has access to our creek.
Getting in retirement age, and all of our children, they love to be a farmer and stay on a dairy, but it was not profitable for me and my brothers and our kids, and they all found careers in other fields, doctors, nurses, teachers, and we were all at that age. We were trying to hold out. We wanted to stay farming, but we decided to sell the dairy and go into this easement.
Since after transitioning and retiring out of the dairy business, we were able to work through our confined animal feeding operation program to be able to decommission this dairy and address water quality, soil erosion into the Camp Godfrey Creek and Lower Gallatin watersheds.
So we're removing a bunch of fences, some concrete, some buildings. We're gonna control the access to the stream so that the cows don't have direct access to the water anymore. We're gonna reseed the whole area after the fact. And we're come up with a nutrient management plan to deal with all the manure that's left on site.
Instead of the 24/7 dairy life, we might travel and visit grandkids and get out a little more.
Our goal with these programs is not to just decommission these dairies. We would much prefer to relocate them, keep them in business, keep them viable and economically sustainable. With the Gallatin Valley's growth over the last few years, there's a lot more pressure from folks who don't understand agriculture. And this is a way for us to help the producers address resource concerns so they can stay in business, continue on farming like they had for the last 100 years.
My name is Mark Thyssen. We're out here in Wilsaw, Montana, Park County, and been working with Ted and Corey at the NRCS for about 1.5 years now on our corral project.
I've worked with a lot of Cafo producers, working with them to try and relocate or retrofit their existing site to move the animals and the facility off the water body, off the stream or creek, mainly for water quality type issue.
I kind of come from the environmental science world in the University of Florida back in the days, and I had always wanted to I kind of navigated those paths a little bit when we kind of came to this facility. And I mean, you've got a couple hundred head of cattle down in the riparian corridor. I mean, that's a lot of waste going down there. And then there were some folks telling us how important the Shields watershed is, for West Slope Cutthroat. It just kind of was important to kind of get it out of that bottom ground and get it up here and create a little VTA for, when we do have some cows up here for a month at a time, occasionally, we got a place for that effluent and everything to go. We wanted it to be a working ranch, 100 head-ish, not super intense, but, and they worked with us on trying to get the corrals out and the old calving sheds down the creek bottom and moving it up to some higher ground.
The holding facilities shouldn't have direct contact, or the livestock in them should not have direct contact, and also you shouldn't have direct discharge from those pens into a live water body stream in this case. Where the current pond is where the more heavily used pens were. Stream is on the north side of the pond. All of these pins up here are the hillside that's been revegetated or is being revegetated. Yeah, because the location they moved to, you know, it was pretty high and dry. They weren't getting much production on it anyway, whereas this actually has some moisture to it, and they will be able to utilize, you know, better forage and more. The entire operation now, you know, flows better, it works better. He can utilize, you know, more of the rangeland and utilize it better. The old facility now comes back into kind of a pasture rotation where it isn't that they gave up, you know, land that they can't utilize. It's just utilized differently now and, you know, more environmentally friendly.
We wanted to do what's right the whole time anyway. And I'd say it was a welcoming to have them out here and have their knowledge and resources to help us do it. You know, they wanted us to use the water, use the land just as much as we did. It was just kind of, it was better than I had thought as well. So it was nice.